Yam sannyasam prahuhu yogam tam vidhi pandava nahi asanyastha sankalpo yogi bhavati kastana. Very beautiful shloka. Krishna says, Krishna said in the previous shloka that a sannyasi is a person, not he who has renounced all material activities externally, but the word Krishna uses is anashritaha karmaphalam. The key word in the first shloka was anashritaha. He is not taking shelter of material circumstances. Anashritaha karmaphalam. Simple. So he is a sannyasi. He is not taking shelter of material circumstances and only the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Krishna. Now Krishna is telling to not distinguish disconnection from the world and connection to Krishna. Both of them are the same thing only. Yam sannyasam iti prahuhu. Whatever you are calling as renunciation, yogam tam vidhi pandava. If there is a sannyasi, he cannot be a sannyasi without being a yogi. Because you can't be in a no man's land like Trishanku. It's not possible. So, nahi asanyastha sankalpo. Very nice, good prayojanam. Very nice, beautiful. Asanyastha sankalpaha. Which means what? If one has a sankalpa like something. Sankalpa like what? Asanyastha sankalpaha. Asanyastha sankalpaha means having the determination that I will not give up material activities. So if one is asanyastha sankalpaha, Krishna, Prahlad Maharaj also uses a very similar word. He says griha vratanam, also similar connotation. That if one is having the determination that I will be here only. So we could definitely take this meaning to Krishna consciousness also. While we chant Hare Krishna mantra, or while we read or hear, if our sankalpa is asanyastha, Krishna says, nahi. You cannot be a yogi if you have a sankalpa that is asanyastha. Asanyastha means I will not give up my material attachments for Krishna. If such is your sankalpa, then yogi bhavati kastana, you cannot become a yogi because you have a strong determination that I will not give up what is antithetical to Krishna consciousness. To go back to Godhead, whatever I have to do, I am not ready to do. I will continue to break regulative principles, or I will continue to be lazy, or I will continue to not associate with devotees, or I'll continue to perform some anarthas. In this way, I do not know about you, but definitely I have lot of sankalpa, lot of determination that is asanyastha. That is asanyastha. So each one would have, definitely, if we are not experiencing pure Krishna consciousness, we would have sankalpa, we would have a strong feeling in our heart that so much only I should do Krishna consciousness. This is asanyasa sankalpa. That's what Krishna says here. So Prabhupada translates as what is called renunciation, you should know to be the same as yoga or linking oneself to the Supreme. So sannyasa means to give up all false relationships with this world. Because whatever relationship we are imagining in this world is false. It is not true. Prabhupada said in one lecture very nicely, if I have a son, if I have a father, if I have a daughter, whatever it is, there is separation. So they will make me cry now or later. Either he will cry or I will cry. Is it not? So there is separation in the material world. But in Krishna consciousness, there is no separation. There is no separation. So sannyasa means to give up material relationships. Yoga means to engage in spiritual relationships. So if one is not having the desire to give up material relationships, or it's not that first one must have yoga or something like that, but if one has the sankalpa to not give up material relationships, it's not that there is a prerequisite for Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness doesn't require any prerequisites. But if one is having the determination that my friends, of course, if the material relationships that we have, like for instance, a husband or a wife or a children, right, they are devotionally inclined, they're devotees, then there is no need to give them up, right? Actually, one must engage in Krishna consciousness along with them. But if one observes that being with someone, I am not able to, it's completely opposing to my practice of my Krishna consciousness, then there is no dosham in giving them up. So this is called pratikulyasya varjanam. Pratikulyasya varjanam. Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulyasya varjanam. Rakshishyati iti vishwasaha. So one must be very sure that I must in this very lifetime go back to Krishna. So one must have a very firm determination. Rakshishyati iti vishwasaha. My only shelter, my only recourse is Krishna. Anashritaha. Not these things in this world. So Prabhupada is saying in the purport that the real sannyasa yoga, or Prabhupada also says, or bhakti. Sannyasa and yoga are one word. Prabhupada, that's how he's saying. Or bhakti. Bhakti means that one should know his constitutional position as a living entity and act accordingly. The living entity has no separate, independent identity. He is the marginal energy of the Supreme. When he is entrapped by material energy, he is conditioned. When he is Krishna conscious or aware of the spiritual energy, then is real and natural state of life. Therefore, when one is in complete knowledge, what happens? One ceases all material sense gratification. Or he renounces all kinds of sense gratificatory activities. It's very simple to know whether we will go back to Godhead or not. Just one litmus test. Okay, just one litmus test is sufficient to know whether we will go back to Godhead in this very lifetime or not. What is that litmus test? If our mind is enthused by a concept of gain, and that gain is not Krishna, that means we will not go back to Godhead. I repeat, when the mind or intellect is enthused by a concept of gain, oh, I'm getting a product today from Amazon, I am gaining today. Oh, I got a promotion, I am gaining. Oh, someone has praised me, I am gaining. I have become more famous than I used to be, I am gaining. So in this way, we have so many conceptions of gain. So these are all sense gratificatory activities. Kama sankalpa varjitaha. So if your mind is having a vikaram of gain in our daily course of activities, that means we still have way to go. We are not, when we leave this body, we won't go back to Godhead. But through the course of activities, we have no concept of material gain. And we always relish in the gain that my spiritual master has blessed me with. My spiritual master has blessed me with, then that means I'm ready. Which means any gain or loss, I always see it as that I have gained my spiritual master's mercy. He has given me his order, and that is my ultimate gain. And what else is more? What more is there to gain? My spiritual master's order is my eternal gain. And that is the only gain I need. If the intelligence is fixed in this nishtha, that means one can be sure that he is definitely already in the spiritual consciousness and is sure to go back to Godhead in this very lifetime. So we can very easily know just this one litmus test is sufficient. Do we have a concept of gain? Right? So that's what Prabhupada is saying. One ceases all material sense gratification or renounces all kinds of sense gratificatory activities. This is practiced by the yogis who restrain the senses from material attachment. We should also feel this way while even preaching Krishna consciousness. We must not think, oh, I have preached Krishna consciousness, I have gained one follower. Oh, I have gained, I'm distributed workbooks, so I've gained one book. Or I have gained. No, there is no gain in this material world. The only gain I can have is the pleasure of my spiritual master. That is my gain. Every other gain, if I feel I gain, then it's merely a loss. So, but a person from in Krishna consciousness has no opportunity to engage in anything which is not for the purpose of Krishna. Therefore, a Krishna conscious person is simultaneously a sannyasi and a yogi. The purpose of knowledge and of restraining the senses as prescribed in jnana and yoga process is automatically served in Krishna consciousness. If one is unable to give up the activities of selfish nature, then jnana and yoga are of no avail. The real aim is to give up all selfish satisfaction and to be prepared to satisfy the Supreme. Krishna conscious person has no desire for any kind of self-enjoyment. He's always engaged for the enjoyment of the Supreme. One who has no information of the Supreme must therefore be engaged in self-satisfaction, because no one can stand on any platform of inactivity. We cannot stand on the platform of inactivity. It's not possible. It's not possible. So either I serve the desires of my spiritual master. I can't serve Krishna right now because I don't know Krishna. But I know spiritual master, you can say, but actually we don't even know the spiritual master, his mood. So what do we have at the end of the day? We have the instructions of the spiritual master, which is not different from the Lord. So if we take those instructions as Krishna himself, and we satisfy the spiritual master, and we consider it as our only gain, then by such an attitude, Krishna becomes very pleased. And we are destined to go back to the spiritual world in this very lifetime. Okay. So stop here. Any questions or comments are welcome. Thank you, devotees. Thank you. Hare Krishna.